Well, freeze warning tonight across the valley begins at midnight through 9 a.m. Still some drizzle out there right now. Very slim chance that we could see a couple snowflakes out of that, so don't get too excited. But temperatures will likely try to drop late tonight about the time any drizzle ends, and we have to see if temperatures can drop below freezing before sunrise. The freeze watch also returns Wednesday night, so freeze warning tonight, freeze watch tomorrow night. And what's that mean? Well, we have to watch out for another potential chance to drop down to near or below freezing tomorrow night. And then finally things warm up. I think by Thursday and Friday afternoons we're back at least in the 60s for highs and probably in the 70s for highs this weekend with no more cold freezing nights. So the temperatures right now have not changed a lot. Mostly been hovering right around 35 to 37 this evening. Weslaco was a cold spot yesterday evening and most of last night that showed up on here, and it's already dropped a little bit now down to 33, but most spots right around 34 to 37 or so. You see 34 in Harlingen, 34 in Port Isabel. So temperatures kind of holding in the mid-30s the next few hours and then could drop later tonight. If we look at kind of an overnight forecast, by 12 a.m. still maybe some drizzle, temperatures near 35 degrees. But by the time we get to about 3 or 4 in the morning through just near sunrise, that's the tricky part because we have to see if the clouds begin to thin out some, as some of the models show late tonight. If they break apart quickly, we could easily be down a couple degrees colder than this. If they break apart slowly all the way through sunrise, we'll probably bottom out around 31 or 32 in many areas, but we could be a little colder than that and near freezing in most spots. So lows tonight, again, this might be a couple of degrees on the cold side. If the clouds thin out, you probably likely see these numbers. If the clouds stay around most of the night, probably add 2 or 3 degrees onto this and keep it closer to maybe 31 or so. But 29 we're going for in Rio Grande City, 28 in San Ysidro, about 30 in Edinburg, 32 in McAllen, and 30 in Weslaco and Elsa, and then low to mid-30s the closer you get into the mid-valley to lower valley near the coast, about 33 in Brownsville and maybe 31 in Harlingen. Again, might be a couple degrees warmer if clouds stay all night. Also, you kind of just want to put this in the back of your head. You might see a few icy spots on the roadways since we still have drizzle coming down, and the time, between when the drizzle ends maybe at 1 or 2 in the morning tonight to the time it could get below freezing may not allow water to evaporate everywhere. So you might have some icy spots, as I kind of drew in there, on some of the bridges and some of the colder spots around the valley. So watch out for that. We're not expecting sleet and freezing rain to come down, but the water that's already there might try to freeze as we get toward the coldest hours near sunrise. Temperatures are chilly. It also feels colder with the wind. The wind speed's still around 15 to 20 miles per hour or more, especially along the coast. I mean, you see that wind speed sustained right now at 25 miles per hour in Port Isabel. That's not counting any gusts, but you take in that cold, wet air and then throw in some wind, it gets much colder. We still have a wind chill advisory across the valley through 9 a.m. tomorrow because when you take temperatures in the 30s and add that wind in, it feels like it's in the 20s basically out there, and if you are wet it feels even colder on your skin. So the feels like temperature right now, again, feels like it's 22 in Harlingen and Raymondville, 21 the apparent temperature in Port Isabel. That's how cold it feels on your exposed skin. Now, Future Track overnight, again, watch out for potentially some freezing temperatures. You notice how Future Track tries to break apart the clouds between about 3 a.m. and near sunrise. So the quicker that happens, the better chance we have to maybe drop to below freezing. So the first 1570 forecast down near 30, we'll call it in the morning, but a few places may be a little colder in the Western Valley, maybe a couple degrees warmer closer to the coast. But sunshine returns tomorrow, 52 for a high, which will feel fantastic after, being in the 30s all day. Thursday looks sunny and a little bit warmer, but cold in the morning. We might hit freezing again, and then the warm air finally comes back with highs in the 70s just in time for the weekend. So if you need something else to warm you up, Joel's here.